Can reason independently grasp the necessity of a divinely appointed infallible leader? What intellectual proofs and logical arguments exist for the principle of imamate? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back to Misk Podcast, Episode 8. Previously, we talked about the different sects within Islam, the different madhahib. And we came to this conclusion that the main cause of this division is imamate, or the leadership after the Prophet ﷺ. Today, we'll inshallah dive into this topic and discuss this very important issue from a rational perspective. Once again, I'm joined by Sheikh Ruhani. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, and welcome back.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Again, I'm very much grateful to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for providing me with this great opportunity to be here, inshallah, at the service of you and your respected audience, and to talk about a very significant topic. I mean, the principle of imamate from a rational perspective. Inshallah, I hope that this discussion will be useful and helpful for brothers and sisters.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Thanks for the time. Before we dive into the main arguments, Sheikh, a preliminary question is there, and that is, what role does human reason play in understanding religious matters? Can reason alone discover religious truths, or does it require revelation?
This is a very profound topic, which has been discussed by the Muslim theologians, particularly by the Shia theologians, for centuries. So today in this session, I will try to present the results of those philosophical and rational reflections of these philosophers and theologians on the very topic, principle of imamate.
Yeah.
So the point is that, as you rightly asked this very important question, that can reason independently without revelation understand the religious truth, such as, for example, the principle of imamate, the necessity of imamate, the characteristics of the Imam and the leader,
Yes.
This is a very important question. Within Islam, we have different schools of theology, like Ash'arites, like Mu'tazilites, like Imamites and Shiites. For the Mu'tazilites and Imamites or Imamiyya, they are of the view that the reason and intellect can independently understand, for example, the goodness of the actions and the badness of the actions. But for the Ash'arites, they have a different view on this. But since we are trying to explain the Imamites and the Mu'tazilites, or Adliya views actually, on this very topic, inshallah we'll try to shed light on the different aspects of their views, that how can we prove the necessity of imamate and the characteristics of the Imam from a pure rational perspective, not referring to the revelation, for example.
Or narrations.
This is what we are going to inshallah discuss today. So based on the Adliya or the Imamites and the Mu'tazilites view, as I mentioned, reason can independently understand what is goodness and what is badness of an action.
So the answer is yes.
Exactly. So based on this principle, husn qubh aqli, which is termed technically in the Arabic language, husn qubh aqli, based on this principle, we understand that the guidance of the people is something necessary. As Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the wise and is just and fair, and He absolutely knows the goodness and badness of each action for the human being.
Exactly.
Then for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is necessary to guide the people. So for their guidance, He has to send the guides, the prophets, and the successors are awsiya and awliya of the prophets. So because of this, based on a pure rational perspective, we can understand that sending of the imams or choosing the imam, electing the imam as a guide for the human being is something necessary.
Yeah.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is wise and hakim and just and fair, He must provide the people with a chance for guidance.
Yeah.
This is what we...
To gain the purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the purpose of our life, the purpose of our creation is guidance. Is this that we must be guided to the right path and we must be saved from the hellfire,
Yeah.
and we must enter the paradise. So sa'ada, prosperity, happiness is something that is the purpose of our life, either in this world or in the hereafter. So for this, there should be a kind of divinely guidance or divinely appointed people for leading and guiding the people.
So you mean, Sheikh, that if God does not send us such a guide, such an imam, it completely contradicts the wisdom of Allah Almighty,
Exactly.
the mercy
The
of Allah
justice.
Almighty.
The justice and the wisdom of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So based on His justice, based on His
Us,
wisdom, it's a
is-
must.
Exactly. You know, it's quite clear that, for example, on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge us.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So then, how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the people to the hellfire without any kind of guidance for them?
Yeah, before in the dunya.
Exactly. In dunya, if people do not know anything about
What's going to happen?
divine rulings, yeah?
Yeah.
So then how can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punish them if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is wise and just? So there must be a guide.
Yeah.
That is why the prophets are sent to the
So human
mankind.
beings can question Allah Almighty
Exactly.
here. That you didn't send me, I did not know.
Yeah,
How are you
yeah.
going to punish me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the people are completely ignorant about the divine rulings, so then how can such an ignorant person be punished?
And basically those
Or be
rulings,
rewarded even.
Yeah, those rulings are for the
Exactly.
perfection of human
Exactly.
beings.
Yeah.
So Sheikh, based on this approach that you have, reason can perceive the necessity of imamate.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
And so what is the first rational argument on imamate?
Yeah. You know, since we are talking now about Islam, which is the last religion, and the seal of the prophets is the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The question here is that after the demise of the Holy Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is it necessary to have some people as guide, as imam, as leader, as khalifa or wasi for the Prophet? Here, what does reason say? Yeah, this is the question.
Yeah, the reason actually says yes.
It says yes. Why? Because of what? Because of these three main things. First of all, that imam and that leader after the Prophet ﷺ must prevent people from oppression and we can say transgression. So such a person should be in this world that after the demise of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he must prevent the people from oppression.
Because there will be a chaos.
Exactly. This is one of the main reasons that our aql or intellect understands.
So the society must be protected.
Exactly. And then that person should defend and protect the people against oppressors, against injustice. He must fulfill justice in this world. Okay?
Yeah.
And we very clearly and very obviously understand that in this world, there are always people who oppress the poor people.
Yeah.
So this oppression is always there.
Yeah.
Then there must be a kind of divinely appointed leader who must fulfill justice in this world and defend the poor people, the oppressed ones, against the oppressors.
Sure.
So this is something that our aql, our reason, understand.
Yeah.
And thirdly, this person or the imam or the leader must ensure that everyone receives their rightful due. So these three things tells us that from a pure rational perspective, that Imam must be there.
These are the three main reasons.
Without Imam, these three things will never happen in this world. Yeah.
Well, the purpose is that those three. Those three are the purpose.
Exactly.
And if Imam is not there, these three purposes
it will not be fulfilled.
Cannot be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then it is clear that this person who tries to, for example, defend the people against oppressors, try to, for example, give the people their rightful due, or the person who prevent the people from oppression or from the oppressors. So this kind of person himself must not be an oppressor,
exactly,
a sinful person, a person who makes mistake like other ordinary people.
Because he must go for the establishment of justice. So how can he establish while he himself,
if he himself is not just and fair, then how can he fulfill justice? Yeah. So that's why this person must be infallible.
Infallible.
Yeah, and he should never make any mistake. If he makes mistakes, it means that all the Ummah, all the nation, all the people will go astray. So then there must be another person who should protect him against oppression. So then that person should be Imam, should be considered as Imam. So then we go to that person. If he himself is again a sinful person, a person who is oppressor, then again another person should control that person. Then we go to the third one, and then the fourth and the sixth and the seventh. It will go a kind of infinite kind of regression. So this is what we understand based on this, that from a pure rational perspective, there must be an Imam, a guide, a just
an
person.
Infallible.
Yeah, exactly, and he should be infallible, yes.
Sheikh, this seems to be a strong argument, but there is a challenging question that some critics say that that's not possible to prove the infallibility of an Imam or that person, because infallibility is a hidden or inner quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How would you respond to this question?
Yeah,
to
of course.
This
of course, this is a very true question, an important question. Look at the prophets. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, salawatullahi alayhim ajma'in, are they chosen and elected by the people? Of course not.
No.
They were all chosen and elected by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because of what? Because there are kind of secret and hidden characteristics that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
Because He is the all-knowing.
Exactly. Just only Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the most perfect, well-qualified person for being as the prophet or as the guide for the people. Yeah. But the people of Mecca never know that. Because of what? Because they all rejected and denied the Prophet ﷺ, and Prophet left Mecca for Medina. Yeah. So this is quite clear that the people, as you rightly mentioned, will never understand, will never recognize that hidden and secret quality, which is infallibility. Yeah.
So you mean this infallibility is something like Allah confirms who is infallible and who is not?
Absolutely, yes. That is why here, if we want to know who is the infallible Imam, we must refer to the Holy Qur'an.
All right.
And to the ahadith and authentic narrations and traditions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So two things can help us here to identify the infallibles. First, the Holy Qur'an.
Yeah.
And thirdly, the prophetic text. And also the historical evidence as well.
Yeah.
So these are the things that can help us to identify the true Imams. For example, we refer to the Holy Qur'an. Holy Qur'an says that أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم. So ita'a here is absolute ita'a. Absolute obedience. Yeah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us to absolutely obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to absolutely without any condition, unconditionally.
This is a commandment.
Exactly. Unconditionally we have to obey Prophet, and at the same time unconditionally we should obey the ulul amr.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is infallible, we must absolutely obey. Since Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is infallible, we have to follow him unconditionally. And since the ulil amr is again infallible, Allah
has to
subhanahu
be
wa ta'ala
infallible.
exactly says that you have to atiyu infallible as atiyu ulil amr, the same that you as the same way that you follow the Prophet and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if there is no infallibility for the ulil amr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should never orders us to obey the ulil amr without any condition.
Yeah.
Okay?
So like obedience to the ulil amr equals obedience of the Prophet,
and
obedience
subhanahu
of
wa
the
ta'ala.
Prophet
Exactly.
equals obedience of Allah Almighty.
And then, so now who is this infallible? Ayat al-Tathir.
Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا.
Yeah.
So the Holy Quran very explicitly here explains that these infallibles are the Ahl al-Bayt.
You're right.
So then who is the Ahl al-Bayt? We must refer to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi
yeah, to the
wasallam.
narrations, to the
We
interpretation.
should ask the Prophet, who is the Ahl al-Bayt? And there are many traditions, hadiths, that even some of the wives of the Prophet asked the Prophet that, are we among the Ahl al-Bayt? The Prophet said no.
No.
Okay?
You're
Only,
excluded.
Exactly. Only Amirul Mu'minin Ali alayhi salatu wassalam, Lady Zahra salamullah alayha, Hassan and Hussein, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These 5 people were the people of the Ahl al-Bayt, or the members of Ahl al-Bayt and household. So then, Qur'an, first of all, tells us that you have to obey absolutely the infallibles. We then go to the Qur'an. Is there any reference to the Ahl, to these infallibles?
Yeah.
Qur'an, for example, mentions them in the ayat al-Tathir. So then we should refer to the Prophet. Prophet is the first interpreter of the Qur'an. O Prophet, who is the infallible? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will tell us that these are the Ahl al-Bayt and they are infallible, and you have to follow them the same way that you follow me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So, Sheikh, based
yes.
on this beautiful explanation that you had, infallibility is impossible for us
Exactly.
to prove.
Exactly.
But it's not impossible for Allah.
For Allah. Allah
And
knows
that is Allah, what Allah has to do.
Yes.
Yeah, and He
Yes.
does.
Yes.
Because He is alimul ghaybi wa shahada,
Exactly.
right? He knows
He knows best.
the unseen and also the other.
The hidden
The
and
hidden
the
and
secret
the-
characteristics of the people, yes.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, for example, the very exact, for example, personality as the Imam after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, some people might say, okay, this household and Ahl al-Bayt are something general. While Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam specifically mentioned that Zahra, Ali, and Hassan and Hussein, alayhim as-salatu was-salam, they are my household. Okay, then which one of them is the first Imam and the first leader, specifically after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It is, for example, mentioned in many hadiths that we inshallah will discuss. One of them is Hadith Ghadir.
Yeah.
In that hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not only by the speech or by wordings, even practically he raised the hand of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam and showed him to the people that
and
he
officially declared it.
Declared, and everybody came to Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam and paid allegiance to him and congratulated him on this occasion. So this is what we practically see from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who
Time and again.
Exactly, that he introduced the Imam after him. So that's why, based on these kind of principles or evidence, pieces of evidence, it is proven for us that yes, the Imam after the Prophet should be such a person like Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheikh. That was a very beautiful explanation. So the point is that what you said, infallibility is impossible to prove. That's impossible for us, since we are not all-knowing.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not knowledgeable, that much knowledgeable. But it's not impossible for Allah Almighty.
Yeah.
So since Imamate is a divine position,
Exactly.
so Allah Almighty has to prove that.
Exactly.
Should identify. And He does so.
Of course, yeah. As Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed 124,000 prophets according to the many ahadiths, by Himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself appointed them. Yeah?
Yeah.
And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that among these billions of people, only these, for example, number of people, they are well qualified for this position of the prophethood and risala and nabuwa. So the same way Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must appoint the successor of the last prophet.
As he has done.
Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So this is what, if we want to understand who is these infallible or who are these infallible leaders, we must refer to the Qur'an and the prophetic text.
That's great, Sheikh. Thank you, Sheikh. What is the second argument on the principle of imamate?
The second argument that is discussed by the Shia theologians in many works is this, that based on the grace of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful, is actually beneficent, He really loves the creatures, particularly the human beings, and He really loves the human being to be guided to the right path, to be saved from the hellfire.
Yeah.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most gracious. Based on this grace and lutf, okay, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must appoint the true people for the guidance of the Ummah, for the guidance of the mankind.
A mercy from God.
Exactly. It must happen because it is opposed to the lutf and the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leaves the people to go astray without any guidance. Such a thing from a gracious creator, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will never happen.
Yeah.
This is what aql, what intellect understands. Okay?
Exactly.
Then the point is that, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala capable of doing that? Yes. For Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is very easy and simple to appoint the well-qualified people for the imamate and leadership of the Ummah after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So
you mean He does not need to consult anyone?
Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the absolutely powerful. Yeah. So then, do the people need such a guidance?
Yeah.
Such an Imam, such an infallible personality for their guidance? Yes.
Exactly.
The people need.
Yeah, the reason says yes.
Exactly. If, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not appoint such a person, would it have, for example, a kind of bad consequences? Yes. Because that is the misguidance of the people. Yeah?
So you mean it cannot happen by consultation, by elections, or these kind of things?
Yeah, that's true. And the point is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is capable of doing that, yes.
Yeah.
People need to that, yes.
Yeah.
If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not appoint such an Imam for the guidance of the people will go astray, yes.
Of course.
And then, is it opposed to that lutf and grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Sure.
Yes. So all these things are the things that our intellect, our reason understands.
Yeah.
Okay? So based on these principles, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most gracious and He is the most powerful, and the creature, the people need this kind of guidance, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must appoint.
Yeah.
As He appointed the prophets based on the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So He should not deprive us from such a guidance.
From such a guidance. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should deprive us from such a guidance?
Yeah.
Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-ayadhu billah bakhil and hasud, for example, stingy, or for example, what we can term it as jealous, for example? Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ghaniyun mutlaq, is self-sufficient.
Yes.
Yeah? And at the same time, He is absolutely merciful.
And He is
kind.
not unfair.
Exactly. And such a guidance is very simple and easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
And the result of such a guidance is
so beautiful.
The guidance of the people. Yeah, they will never go astray or to the hellfire. So this is the lutf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And that helps mankind to accomplish His purpose.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. So then Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appointed people for such a guidance. This is the belief that the Shia theologians have. They believe that since every kind of reasons, every kind of arguments that we study and that we examine, all of them tell us that such a thing happened. And it is impossible that after the demise of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, people would live without any guidance, without any Imam, without any leader. This kind of things is completely opposed to the principle of justice, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, divine mercy, divine grace. All these things are opposed to that. So that's why either Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alayhi billah is not gracious, is not, for example, kind, is not just, is not absolutely, for example, knowledgeable and powerful. Or if he is of such qualities and attributes,
this must happen.
Of course, this kind of guidance must happen.
Yeah.
These are the things that all of them are grasped by the reason, by the intellect.
Yes.
Without any revelation, we understand this.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, this is the second kind of reason and argument that is presented by the Shia theologians in their works.
This is superbly strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on reason and intellect.
Exactly.
Sheikh, there is a question, an issue that says consultation and popular elections are confirmed by reason. So the reason gives a thumbs up. So when there is a consultation, that leads to a good result. A good result. So the Qur'an also mentions this in some of the verses, like وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ.
Yeah, this is a view. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
You're right. This is a view that our Sunni brothers, their scholars, they have such a view.
Yeah.
That after the Prophet ﷺ, there was a kind of shura or consultation. Then the people gathered in a place called Saqifa, and they elected a person as the Khalifa. This is the view that we have among Muslims. They are of the view that the Khulafa and the successors of the Prophet must be elected or chosen by the people.
Yeah, there should be a consultation.
Yeah, but here the Shia theologians disagree with this theory and an idea. Rejected because of what? Because of this that وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ. Hum refers to the people.
Yeah.
So for the matters of the people, yes, they have to have shura or consultation. But the question is that prophethood is amruhum or amrullahi ta'ala. Yeah, this is a very important question. The prophet should be chosen through a kind of consultation or election? Absolutely not.
It has never happened.
Yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never consults the people about his prophet. Yeah.
And also the Imam who is supposed to follow the same instructions of Allah Almighty and accomplish the same goals, the responsibilities, the objectives. So how is it possible for Allah Almighty to...
Because the definition of Imam is very much important here. According to the Shia theologians, Imam has the same responsibilities, duties, and
objectives.
Rules, and roles in the society as the Prophet had. Okay, so the only exception is that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ya Ali, anta minni bimanzilati Harun min Musa illa annahu la nabiyya ba'di." You have all the positions, all the responsibilities, all the status and the merits, except for the prophethood. So such a person should be elected by the consultation of the people, or by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is it amruhum or no? It is amr or matter that refers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
People cannot find
the infallible leader.
Yeah. Because
the people, the well-qualified people for the guidance.
Yeah.
Because people always make mistakes.
Sure.
Yeah? This is not something that should be delivered or given to the people. No, this is not true.
You mean this is not the right of people?
Yes.
It's the right of Allah
subhanahu
and
wa ta'ala, yes.
Imamate is a position which is divine.
Exactly. Imam is the one who guides us not only in this world but hereafter. I mean, Imam must have a kind of knowledge that is not limited, limited to this earthly and physical and sensory knowledge. Imam must have a kind of divinely knowledge, heavenly knowledge, a kind of knowledge that goes to beyond this physical and material world.
Yeah.
Okay? So no one claimed that the Khulafa after the Prophet, like the first Caliph Abu Bakr or Umar or Uthman or these Khulafa, no Muslim scholar claim that these people had such a knowledge or these people had such a kind of
infallibility
or these kind of characteristics. nobody claimed such a thing. But the Shia theologians claim that Ali alayhi salatu wasalam had such a knowledge, had such a characteristic, based on the traditional sources, based on the hadith, and based on the interpretations of the ayat by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that is why the Shia Muslims and the Shia theologians are of the view that the Khalifa and the true successor of the Prophet must be a person who is the most similar person to the Prophet in terms of knowledge, in terms of infallibility, in terms of piety, in terms of all the characteristics except for the prophethood. So that's why such a kind of person can never be elected by the people. People do not know anything about such
Shura,
characteristics.
consultation can never
help us
help
here.
us find a
This is from a pure rational perspective. This is the thing that, yes, if, for example, if imamate and prophethood if it is only related to the material world, to the earthly and worldly affairs of the people, yes, it is possible to elect a person as the president, as the prime minister, even as a king, to deal with our worldly affairs.
Yeah, but this is
by the consultation, by Shura, by whatever.
Yeah.
But if the matter refers to something beyond these natural and physical and material affairs in the world,
not only this one,
not
also
only
the
this
akhirah.
one, the akhirah as well. So then, absolutely, the person who take the position of guidance after the Prophet ﷺ, he must have a kind of pure knowledge beyond these material and sensory knowledge. Yeah, we know that the Prophet ﷺ had a journey in Mi'raj.
Yeah,
and he knows all the things, not only for this world, beyond this world.
Yeah,
such a kind of knowledge should be transmitted and transferred to the successor of the Prophet.
Otherwise, that person would not be like a trusted person.
Exactly.
Nobody
can trust him.
Person, yeah.
Because he's exactly like other people. Then why should people follow him?
Yeah.
If he's exactly like others, there's no any superiority for him over the others.
Yeah.
Such a thing as something irrational according to the Shia theologians.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why Shura or consultation cannot work here.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the rational principles that are presented by the Shia theologians.
Sheikh, since we're running out of time, shortly, the third argument, that should be, I think, the last argument on the principle of imamate.
Yeah, of course, there are many arguments, many reasons presented by the Shia scholars and theologians. Since, as you rightly mentioned, we are running out of time, we cannot mention all of them. What we can cover here is this main kind of principles. The last one that I wanted to mention is this, that the Sharia law or the Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam must be protected, must be preserved against any kind of misunderstanding, a kind of misinterpretation, a kind of
reduction.
Exactly, and inhiraf. I mean.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that should never happen for the Sharia of Islam. I mean, Sharia of Islam must be protected, must be preserved. Yeah. So then the question is that who can preserve it? An infallible person
or normal people?
Or a normal person. So then, since an ordinary person can never protect even his own thought, his own ideas, against any kind of distortion or misinterpretation,
Yeah.
So then how can such a person protect the Qur'an and the Sharia of Islam from distortion? Yeah. So that's why, since the Sharia must be preserved, and it requires an infallible person or infallible
a
imams,
well-qualified person,
exactly, who must be infallible so that they could preserve the Sharia truly. Okay, so then this is the other reason that is presented by the Shia theologians, because the person who protects the religion, who protects the Sharia, he must be the one who is guided, who is absolutely actually found the right path by a kind of divine knowledge. As, for example, some of the Shia theologians refer to this very beautiful ayah of the Holy Qur'an, in this ayah that says that أَفَمَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ أحق أن يتبع أما لا يهدي إلا أن يهدى فما لكم كيف تحكمون. So in this ayah, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very clearly says that the one who is one who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed, or one who cannot guide unless he is guided. So what is the matter with you? How do you actually judge? In this ayah, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the one who want to preserve the Sharia
and guide
the people and never and that person is never misguided, yeah? So then such a kind of person should be guided by a kind of special or unique sort of guidance. Yeah?
He himself should be first and foremost preserved.
Yeah, must preserve. So is he then an ordinary person? Absolutely not. Because he himself is preserved first. Yeah? So then that person can preserve Sharia from any kind of distortion.
Sheikh, as I remember the Quran, there is an ayah in the Quran saying, نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. Allah Almighty has promised Himself that He protects the Quran. So what is the need to an Imam, such a person, to protect the Sharia or the Quran?
Yeah, of course. When it comes to the text or the textual kind of preservation of the Holy Quran, it is true. That can be protected, okay, by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when it comes to the understanding and interpretation, of the Quran, can the text protect the people from any misinterpretation? Absolutely not. The very clear reason is the history of Islam. Look at in the first century of Islam, we had Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. We had the followers of Muawiyah. We had the Khawarij. We had the people who were silent. They were neither with Khawarij nor Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan nor Ali ibn Abi Talib. Okay?
Neutral.
They were different groups of people. The point is that all of them claimed that they were the true interpreters of the Quran. All of them claimed that they were the followers of the Quran. While they were killing each other, they were fighting against each other. So now the question is that can Quran preserve all these people from any distortion, any misguidance? The text of the Quran. Inna lahu lahafidhun means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them miraculously, for example, from any kind of misguidance. No. Even at the time of the Holy Prophet.
This should happen through an Imam.
In the presence of the Holy Prophet, sometimes people misunderstood the ayat of the Holy Quran.
And Prophet was there to fix them.
Prophet corrected them, So then, after the Prophet ﷺ, same is the case with the people after the Prophet ﷺ. They would misunderstand the Holy Quran. When Imam Ali ﷺ fought against Khawarij. So then, Khawarij did not refer to the Holy Quran? Yes, they did. When then Imam Ali ﷺ said that I am Qur'an al-Natiq. I am the Qur'an that you should refer to me. What does it mean? It means that only the wordings, the alfaz, the text of the Qur'an cannot help us to truly understand them. It's not only with the Qur'an, with all the texts. People differently understand, differently interpret the text. So then Imam Ali ﷺ said that we need a person who himself must be, first of all, preserved from any kind of mistakes, errors, sins. And then that person can preserve Sharia.
He is able to do so then.
Exactly. So this is the reason why the Shia theologians believe that a preservation of Sharia requires an infallible leader, an infallible Imam that should be there.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. That was a nice discussion for today in this episode. Sheikh, as a conclusion, as a summary, if you give us some points.
The final point to sum up, I should mention this important fact that based on the Shia theologians' viewpoints, even if we look at the principle of imamate from a pure rational perspective, we would understand that reason and intellect can very clearly confirm and grasp the necessity of the imamate and the appointment of the infallible imam for the preservation of the religion of Islam from misguidance
And distortion.
from distortion and misinterpretation and misconceptions. So this is what we understand by our reason, our intellect.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, four main intellectual and rational reason for the principle of imamate. So I think every individual can just think about it, can reflect and ponder on these principle of imamate from their very pure rational perspective.
Yeah.
I guess that they would finally come to this conclusion that these arguments are absolutely true, and Imam must be of such a kind of characteristic, yes.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. I really myself benefited from your explanation. Sheikh, we rationally discussed the principle of imamate. What is going to be our next topic?
Yes, I think we can look at these.
Since this imamate is not a short topic.
Exactly.
It's a very vast topic.
Yeah, of course. Today we discussed it from a rational perspective.
Yeah.
But for the coming sessions, we can dedicate some of our discussion on the principle of imamate from, for example,
Qur'anic perspective.
Yeah, based on
Great.
the ayat of the Holy Qur'an, we can
Great.
discuss the principle of imamate. Then based on Hadith and the sayings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we can discuss the principle of imamate.
Right.
Based on historical evidence.
So
Again, yes?
we are going to have, inshallah, 3 more episodes on imamate.
Exactly.
So this next one will be
The Qur'anic one.
the Qur'anic perspective, and the second
Hadisi
one,
and traditional
hadith,
perspective, yes.
and then the third one,
historical perspective.
historical
yes.
perspective. Thank you so much, Sheikh. Inshallah,
You're
we'll
welcome.
be there
Thank you very much.
with you, inshallah. Dear viewers, thank you so much for staying with us till the end of this episode. Next time, inshallah, we'll be discussing the principle of imamate from a Qur'anic perspective, and later on from the Hadith perspective and historical perspective. So stay with us. If you had any questions and comments, please share with us in the comment section. See you next time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.